Imagine your deepest, darkest secret isn't just a bad memory, but a living, breathing weight on your soul. What happens when the one person who truly understands you is trapped in a hidden facility, and getting to them means tearing down the very system you're supposed to be a part of? Episode 3 of Gen V isn't just about secrets. It's about the breaking point, the moment the good kids finally decide to break bad. The episode starts with a jolt right into the middle of a nightmare. We're with Kate as she sees Luke and herself going into a cell to find his missing brother, Sam. Luke tries to calm Sam down, but a guard shows up and shoots Sam, sending him into a rampage. Kate uses her push power on Sam, forcing him into a peaceful state, but then she wakes up. It was all a dream. She's lying in bed next to Andre. They talk about what happened, and it's clear they're getting closer. Andre wants to go save Sam, but Kate is terrified. Her nightmare showed her exactly how dangerous that is. She reminds him that Luke is dead because of this, and the last thing she wants is for Andre to end up the same way. In this quiet, vulnerable moment, they admit to each other that they have feelings. Meanwhile, Marie hears a tiny voice calling out her name. It's Emma, who has shrunk down to the size of a doll. Marie has to feed her a bunch of food just to get her back to normal size. Marie tries to talk some sense into Emma, telling her that self-purging just to get tiny is incredibly unhealthy. But Emma defends herself. It's a part of her power. She says it's no different than how Marie has to hurt herself to draw blood for her own abilities. This comparison cuts deep, and the two friends have a massive argument, putting a serious strain on their friendship. The next day, the PR spin begins. Marie gets invited to a fancy fundraiser by Indira, the dean of the school. Indira acts sympathetic about Marie's messed up interview, but it feels less like empathy and more like a PR move. She wants Marie to play her part. Across campus, the media training students are watching clips of Marie. We see Polarity, Andre's dad, completely dismiss Marie's potential. He tells his son to step up and be the star, inviting Andre to the same fundraiser. Andre tries to ask his dad for advice on using his powers for good, but his dad just brushes him off, completely focused on the image. Speaking of parents, Emma's mom shows up to campus. After another student named Justine apologizes for outing her shrinking secret online, Emma's mom tells her she's seen the viral videos. She wants to use Emma's powers for a new reality TV show, and she also wants her to come to the fundraiser. Emma is clearly overwhelmed by her mother's expectations. At the fundraiser, the students are all dressed up and trying to make a good impression, but the tension is thick. Marie tries to apologize to Kate for their earlier argument, but Kate snaps at her, accusing her of talking about her on camera. Marie walks away, and we see a flashback of Kate trying to calm a panicked Luke down after a violent episode. We then get a peek into Jordan's life. We see them sleeping with another student, but when their parents show up unexpectedly, Jordan quickly sends a guy away, then transitions from a woman back into a man to greet them. It's a moment that shows us just how much Jordan has to switch between who they are and who their parents want them to be. As the night goes on, the students start to realize a fundraiser is more about image than about celebrating heroes. Indira warns Marie that this is a ruthless fight for the #1 spot, and Emma's mother introduces her to a TV producer who wants to cast her in a reality show. But Emma realizes it's not about being a hero, it's about being a sympathetic victim. It's a role she has no interest in playing. Feeling completely isolated and overwhelmed, Emma heads to the bathroom. Marie follows her. Despite their fight, Emma compliments Marie's dress. Marie admits she doesn't know how to pee in it, and Emma helps her out. It's a small, funny moment that breaks the ice, and the two friends hug and apologize, finally putting their fight behind them. When they get back, Emma tries to talk to her mother and the producer about making the show more inspirational, but her mom shuts her down immediately. Fed up, Emma walks out. Andre follows and tells her about his plan to sneak into the underground facility to rescue Sam. She agrees instantly. Jordan, meanwhile, is in an argument with her parents, who are still unhappy with who they've become. It's a painful conversation that shows just how much pressure kids are under to be perfect. Andre takes Emma to a secluded bunker, and she shrinks down to her small size. He gives her a GPS tag and tells her the plan. She'll slip under the doors and enter the facility to find Sam. Emma bravely agrees, and we watch as she disappears under the gap in the door into the asylum. The fundraiser is still going on. A short tribute to the late Professor Brink plays, but Andre is distracted worried sick about Emma. His dad, Polarity, sees that he's not paying attention and confronts him. Andre, panicking, lets slip that he knows about the underground hospital. Polarity is shocked and warns him to keep quiet before getting called away by a friend. Emma makes it into the facility by hiding on a food tray. She enters Sam's room, but he sees her immediately and traps her under a cup. He thinks she's just another hallucination. She tries to convince him she's real and that she's there to help, but he isn't buying it. He asks her a bunch of questions, and when she gets a few wrong, he's even more convinced she's a figment of his imagination. Meanwhile, back at the party, Marie realizes that Indira was only using her for PR, and she leaves the scene. Jordan, who has been taunting Marie, corners her, and Marie finally reveals the truth about her past. She tells him that she only found out about her powers when she got her first period, and she accidentally killed her parents. This leads to a powerful moment of shared pain between Marie and Kate, who also reveals a devastating secret from her past. The fundraiser is a backdrop for all these kids to finally open up to each other about the trauma they've been carrying. Back in the asylum, Sam finally agrees to let Emma help him after she reveals that his brother was the one who came up with the escape plan. Sam gives her the codes to the doors. Just then, an alarm goes off. Sam tells Emma to hide, and we see the guards come in and electrocute him. Emma, now tiny and filled with new resolve, jumps onto a guard, enters his ear, and forces him to fall to the ground. She escapes. But now 2 more guards are entering the room. The episode ends on a cliffhanger. Emma is alone in a dangerous facility. Sam is in trouble, and the students are finally realizing what's at stake. What will Emma do now? And will Andre be able to help? Drop your theories in the comments. Hit that like button. If this recap blew your mind like Luke blew up campus, and I'll see you next time as we dive deeper into this beautifully twisted nightmare. Because in Gen V, the real monsters aren't the ones with powers, they're the ones running the school.